Just give me a yeah, what's up? I can hear you or something. Cause of course y'all know I'm cheap, so I ain't paying for no more Wi-Fi than I got. So, but all right, so let's get into it. First off, yeah, I'm still here in Japan. Like I said, just like the add in the video that I was gonna be here in Japan. We gonna do this from here, but I know it's a lot of stuff that's going on in the news that really don't affect your money. But But I know people just so tied up into the stuff that don't matter. And then the first thing I'm gonna talk about, just real quick, is the Trump news, the Epstein list file. I really don't want to talk about it because it don't affect your money. But I know if I don't say something about it, there's gonna be people down there that say, "Oh well, you're just a Trump lover and he could do nothing wrong." All right, so let's just get this off the plate real quick. Pam Bundy, the AG, she messed up. She should have never mentioned the list if she couldn't provide the list. Point blank, period. Do I think she'll be fired? No. Do I think Trump's name was on the list? That's why they won't release it? No. And I'm not. And I see all the talking heads on the right and the left. The right saying, "Oh, they need to have a press conference and talk about it." It's just gonna have more questions than answers. Point blank simple. This is gonna be more questions than answers. So I don't believe a press conference is needed. I do not believe he will get rid of Bondi. But the reason why I don't think his name on the list is pretty simple. All the stuff that was done the last time he was in office, all the stuff that was done after he left office, you got the January 6th riots, the whole nine. If his name was on the list, and remember the list came out when Biden was in office, or the arrest happened and the death of Epstein happened when Biden was in office. If his name was on the list, it would have just been just like another John Gruden in the NFL. They probably would not have released no other name, but they would have released Trump's name so he could not be elected. That's point blank and simple why I said. Hey Lindsay, how's it going? But yeah, so that's just the nuance of that. So just wanted to get that out the way real quick so we don't even have to talk about that ever again. And then the other thing was Dershowitz. Dershowitz, that was the lawyer of Epstein. Dershowitz also said his name was not on the list because Dershowitz has attorney-client privileges, so he knows the names on the list. He said Trump's name was not on the list. So, uh, so then, uh, so then that's just the reason behind it. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the comments. I don't have the setup with all the computers this time, but that's the reason why I don't think his name is on the list. But that's all I wanted to talk about. Yes, Pam Bundy messed up. Yeah, Trump should have had a little bit more wranglings on what she put out there to the press. That's all I'm saying about that. It don't affect your money. It don't affect my money. So figure it all out. All right, next up. Yeah, so I'm here in Tokyo. I'm at the lobby of the hotel right now. I would have did this upstairs in my room, but kid sleep and I didn't want to wake him up while he did that. But for all y'all people that think about going to Japan, especially Americans with your palates ain't that good. But here go the American Survival Kit, just in case you don't fancy the food that they have here, right? The best spot in Japan, period. I don't care if it's Tokyo, Hiroshima, or wherever. You gotta hit that 7-Eleven. These joints right here will save your life. It'll carry you over for a long time. So all this is right now, this came from 7-Eleven. Just the same 7-Eleven we know in the States, but it's a totally different atmosphere out here. You got the pancakes with the syrup and the butter inside. You know what I mean? Those right there save your life, especially if you don't like the food out here. These right here, the chicken, sweet vinegar joints, spot on. Of course, you got the ramen. It's all from 7-Eleven. You got the ramen, and you gotta have you some of these caramel puffs. Gotta be in there. Gotta be in there. And then of course, ramen. All this combined costs about $5. I know in the States it'll cost about 30, 40 bucks. But yeah, it was real cheap buys here. But these right here, saved my life right here. Because about 3 o'clock in the morning every day I wake up, I'm super hungry. I just go hit the 7-Eleven or Lawson's or something like that. Throw a couple of those in my mouth, and then I'm good to go. But people that's been on the channel, y'all know this is ask your questions in the comment section. I'm gonna get to them in a second. Uh, while I've been here, hey Jay, what's up? Uh, while I've been here, some couple things that I've seen out there, and I've been following the Japanese financial news also. This has been affecting money. I've seen that actually this 7-Eleven, it was actually put up for sale. They had a sales agreement, and then the buyer backed out for $42 billion deal. So that's what's going on there. Some other things. We've been here. We've seen a lot of things. Took my son to the arcade yesterday. We seen some temples. Went to the Shibuya crossing where a lot of people cross and take videos of each other and things like that. So those things are out there. Also, while I've been here, I still been working. That don't stop. I don't care if I'm on vacation. I don't care where I'm at. I'm still doing deals. I did close on a triplex. Actually, the day after I landed, uh, the realtor sent me the email confirmation on that. So paperwork's already drawn up. As soon as I touch back down next week in Florida, I'll sign that document, and that will be closed there. So again, no matter what's going on, no matter what location I may be in, I done closed deals in the Netherlands. I done closed deals in Afghanistan, living in a tent. So that don't change. The location don't change. The situation don't change. The goal is always the goal. And then I know it's people that's probably going on. All right, Jay, I'm gonna get to that question. That's a great question. But the goal is still the goal, no matter where. I mean, I know people that go on vacation. They be like, "Oh man, no, I'm on vacation. I can't sit here and learn, or I can't figure it out." I literally got on the when I got on the plane. The things that I brought on the plane with me, of course, my luggage and stuff. But I bought a financial book for my son and a financial book for myself, and we read. Wait, it's all about learning. It's not about taking time off. I mean, yeah, we taking time off for our vacation, but the world don't stop. The money don't stop. So it's never gonna be a time that I'm just gonna sit there and just be like, oh yeah, whatever. Oh no, I'm just gonna put that on the back burner and wait. I'm always gonna keep matriculating deals. I still got another deal that I got to hit up on an angel investor deal going on. So still working, still putting in time, still putting in hours. Uh, but yeah, so these, and I'm saying if you don't have a palate, you eat these things right here. But for me, that's just my early morning wake up about 3 o'clock. It's no, there's not many restaurants open that's close by, so I just have these in case I get hungry. But I've been hitting all the food, the sushi. Uh, what else? I done hit the ramen noodle spots. I done hit everywhere, man. I done ate some things I never thought I'd eat in my life, and I'm like, wow, it's very interesting. For the people that hear about the cold egg on the stick, that's not me. I tried it. I ate the whole thing, but it was brutal to the body. But so Jay, I seen your question. I like that one. I like what you said there too about the business trip. But how the Japanese run their markets the same way. It's the stock market just like the United States. It's the same thing. It's many markets around the world just ran similar to how it's ran in the States. I know in the Chinese market, the government is holders of a lot of those companies that's on the Chinese stock market, but it's still the same thing. I mean, buy shares. Warren Buffett, he owns a lot of shares in the Japanese stock market, the actual market itself. Yeah, I think he's in 5 different markets. I can't break them down. I can't tell you the names. I'm not going to butcher these people's names and disrespect them. But yeah, so those things are out there. But yeah, so that's just, that's how the trip going. Supposed to met up for dinner at like 9 o'clock, but I said I'm staying in bed, man. I can't make it. My sleep schedule all off, and then of course dealing with the time difference and still dealing with situations back in the States. And Jay, yeah, it's not a business trip, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying on that one. Uh, oh yeah, Ichiban Ramen. I tried that, Jay. I've been there already. I've been hitting up a couple spots. Uh, Let me see what else in there. Yeah, Ludine, yeah, they having fun. I say I'm having fun, but I ain't gonna lie, I'm a fat kid and I'm walking a lot. I'm walking a lot, so I ain't doing nothing but sweating the oldies like Richard Simmons out here. So yeah, but no, they having fun. Been to a lot of places, tried some things. Some of the desserts was wild. Sushi, and that's another thing. The sushi here is way cheaper. Life is way cheaper as far as food wise go. And I always tell people, uh, day trading. That's a good one. But I want to one thing that I want to get to, and Miss Lark, I'm gonna get to your question in a second. But one thing I want to say is traveling. I know a lot of people they travel within the United States. A lot of people travel within the United States, and I always say, hey, you need to get out and see other things. And they say, oh, it's too expensive. And the funny thing that I realized, especially being here, the upfront cost may be a little more expensive, but a trip from Florida to California or something like that, or you know, the upfront cost is less as far as ticket wise, but you're going to make up the back end for, on a currency exchange. A place like here, like I said, this right here in the States costs like $5. It's $1 here in US money. Now I'll never get adjusted to the, Japanese yen, because when they say $10,000, that's the only thing I think of is 10,000 US dollars. But the exchange is different. 10,000 yen is like $70 and 70 US dollars in the States. But I fed the whole crew. We went to a ramen spot. I fed the whole crew, of course, bowls, 3 bowls, me drinking beer at the same time. I paid the equivalent of $8 for lunch. In the States, if I did the same thing at one of those ramen places, that's an $80 meal plus the tip. Here, you don't even have the tip. So just wanted to just give people the nuances. Yeah, the upfront cost as far as tickets, hotel, you don't have to go to a hotel like I'm at. You can go to a cheaper hotel. And trust me, the 2 star in another country is like a 4 star in the state. So you're gonna save money there. So yeah, a little bit more upfront cost, but it's the same as if you go to New York or California and then spend all that money on the food. You're probably gonna come out of more money in the long run in the totality of it all. All right, now let's get to the questions. Brian Barker, how will a Bitcoin or other crypto ETF survive in a bear market? All right, crypto. I love this question. Crypto is. I mean, I don't know if people are paying attention to the patterns. Crypto runs up. Let's use Bitcoin because that's the one that I use mostly. Bitcoin runs up. The last run up was to 105 and it came back down to 86. I was here on live saying this is the time to buy it at the 86. It dropped, I believe, down to 80, like 79. But you start buying when it's down and nobody's paying attention to it. And then it rallied back up to the 105 area. It sat there for a little while, and then it went up to the 121 area where it's at now. But then when it gets there, then it's all over the news, and then all the retail, like the new people to the game, want to jump in when it's at the high. Let it come back down. 100, 105 is going to be the low point. That's where you hit it. That's when you put in as much money as possible, and then it's going to run up and get back to 120, 121, plateau out. It may get less than 105, but I'm thinking like 105 is my buying point. But then it get back to 120 where it's at now, and then it'll sit there for a minute, and then it'll probably rally up to like 125, 160. But if you look at the history of Bitcoin or history of cryptocurrencies, and I don't want to go down to the meme coins because I don't like to talk about stuff that I don't know about. I mean, Ethereum is one, Bitcoin is one, and then XRP is another one. That's in my wheelhouse. But I think it correlates some to a lot of the, Solana and all the other ones out there. I'm not talking bad about them, but I just don't know them. But yeah, so what I would do is I would just wait for the news to stop talking about it. Nobody's paying attention to it. Of course, it's going to be going down. You might see something in the news. Oh, Bitcoin dropped 10,000 points, 20,000 points from the high. Be greedy when other people are fearful. That's the time to jump in and jump on it. And then you just keep riding it out. I mean, you got ETFs out there. I wouldn't get into the call writing ETFs. I know it's one out there that's doing a lot of option configurations going on there. It's a lot of leverage ETFs. I wouldn't get into that wheelhouse if I'm gonna get into the wheelhouse. But I would just go to the coin outright. Of course, I'm talking about $105,000, $120,000 for a coin, but you can get fractional shares of the coin. You don't have to come up with $105 as far as Bitcoin or 2,700 or whatever Ethereum's sitting at now. XRP, I believe, is at three and some change, $3 and some cents of change. And then, so those are the things that I would shoot for, aim for, and things like that when it comes to the Bitcoin. Business trip, whatever we got. Ichi Ramen, yep. I mean, Ichiban Ramen. Yeah, I tried that. Jay, getting into day trading. All right, day trading is cute. It's sexy. But the thing is, if you're not willing to put in the time to understand setups, learn setups, and I mean, you have to put in a lot of work. The trading itself is not hard. The work to understand setups, formations. You need to know what the candlesticks, what each candlestick represents. You need to understand, when you got a hammer formation on the candlesticks. You need to know when you in a downtrend, in an uptrend. You need to know what support and resistance. That's where all the work comes in at. Once you start doing all the work and understand that, then you should be doing, as far as day trading, you may get in one, if you good at it. First off, when you first starting off, you're gonna think you need to ultra trade all the time. You don't. A good day trader, swing trader, they probably doing one trade a day, maybe, if they have the right setup. And then you got the swing trader who understand that the market's setting at a low. They have a formation that looks like it's going to be bullish in the intermediate term, so they get in, swing trade it up to the high, get out. Understand Fibonacci numbers. Those are the things that go into day trading. It's not just sitting there trading in and out, trading in and out. Yeah, the money is sexy, but as fast as you can make the money, you can lose a lot also. And then understanding in day trading, you can make money when it's going up or when it's going down. But to be a true day trader and you want to short the market, you have to have a margin account. To having a margin account, it allows you to short the market also. So you can't just sit there and be like, oh, I'm a day trader and I'm only playing it on one way. Now, if you want to alleviate yourself from not having a margin account, and a margin account is just an account that allows you to borrow money when you just losing out your butt. But if you want to have an option outside of the margin account, you need to learn how to day trade, but with options. Same setups and things, but learning the option chain and learning how to put in the option trade to seek alpha on the option market as far as buying and selling. But the key is you got to do the work first. And I mean, it's hours and hours of learning before you do your first trade. If you're not willing to do that, then you should just go the long-term game of, buying an ETF, buying a mutual fund that mimics the market itself as far as the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ 100. That's my view on that. Outside of the foreign exchange, uh, dollars can be created account and theirs translated to investing in their currencies. Jay, I don't understand that question. In your experience in Japan, what are the differences between life there and life in the United States? It's more simple. Oh, that's a great question. It's more simple here. What I do notice, so when I'm out during the daytime, it's a lot of people walking. Everybody got earbuds in their ear, but there's not much communication. I mean, I know in the United States we love to, have small talk. Hey, how you doing? There's none of that going on. You walk and everybody, it seems like everybody just like robots on a mission. They just going from point A to point B. And I'm over here in Shibuya where it's more like, work hub and things like that. It's a lot of tourist hub also, but everybody is beelining to getting to where they're going. It's not, you don't see people posted up in the streets having small talk, having conversations. You go into like some of these restaurants, it's just one booth for one person. You just sit there and eat and go back and forth. But you could tell the very nuanced difference. People are, it's like they all about business. Hey, we got to get from point A to point B, and we ain't got no time to be sitting here waiting. And then, but it's like night and day. So in the daytime, you see that, and you see thousands of people walking around. But at night, you see people conversing, but they still walking, getting to where they're going. But you see a lot more noise and stuff going on, people talking and things like that. But life is very different. I do like the cheapness of the food, because in America it'll break you for just the food alone. But the food is actually good. And then it's always good to always have some remnants of things that are recognized at the 7-Eleven. So that's what the life differences are very different. Yeah, we are the only one of the countries that make tipping mandatory, and I hate the whole tipping aspect of that in the United States. Blue flare, I see that one. Meme coins have no value, and Solana president gets prison, and Solona's president gets prison time. I don't think, when it comes to intrinsic value on any coin, crypto or meme or anything, yeah, I know you got Bitcoin out there, you got the Ethereum network, you have the I forgot the other one that's out there, but the coins itself doesn't produce money. The coin itself is all about supply and demand, and I'm not talking bad about it, but That's what it doesn't have the intrinsic value at all. So if y'all hear noise in the back, you got some people doing some things over there. But yeah, it's no really. It doesn't produce. It don't produce a dividend like a stock or whatever. And I'm not talking bad about crypto. I am a crypto investor. I'm just telling you the difference between the two. And I know people like to down talk one coin over another coin. I'm not that guy either. I just know what I know about the coins that I'm invested in. So, but in all, that's what it is. The difference between the two. Uh, People spending their money in Japan compared to how people spend their money in the U.S. It's night and day. It's night and day. And again, I will never get. I can't say never. If I was here for a couple years, like Jay have, then I'll get used to the conversion. But as soon as I see the 10,000, I'll be ready to pass out every time. Because the only thing I'm thinking of is 10,000 US. But I know the difference in the price. But yeah, it's night and day. I mean, you still see people go out and spend money. See Louis Vuitton, you see Gucci stores, you see Balenciaga stores, you see all that stuff here. I mean, I haven't been out there in the countryside, where life is a little different. I'm down here in the heartbeat of it, where everything moving, people shaking and moving. But I don't see, and that's another thing about the life. You don't see people eating and drinking, eating or drinking while walking. That's like a no-no in this country. So that was a big difference for me, especially my fat self walking around all these miles. I done got tens of thousands of steps in. I ain't got 10,000 of steps in a year in the U.S., but I've been getting in here, and there's no drinking. So you get off to the side, you go to a restaurant, you eat, you drink there. In the States, you see everybody walking, drinking. Everybody got the big jugs. Here, no, you might see a lady or two might have one in a purse, and then they'll stop off somewhere and then have a quick sip and then keep on walking. But walking and drinking, walking and eating, no, it's sit, eat. But you just don't see. Even though I'm down here in the hub, you see people, mostly tourists, they sitting there buying stuff, but the everyday worker, they taking the cheapest routes. I'm probably the only crazy guy taking the cab. Everybody, getting on the train, the cheapest route. And that's what I see. I don't see them just out there just, they ain't. I don't see them making it rain all the time. Of course, they got clubs and stuff here. Some people, the younger generation, they still go out there to the clubs and stuff like that. But you don't just see people just out here, besides the tourists, that's actually out here blowing money at a high rate. And how wide they spend. I'm not here. I don't know any locals, Japanese people, so I don't know they whole ins and outs. But there are some people that's poor, and you can tell it's people that got way more money than other people. So somebody. I mean, it's like that in every country. I mean, it's just more in the United States that people choose to just go extra retarded on spending money than probably other countries. But you still got the same dynamic in every country. There's the reason why you have income brackets, because it's the haves, the have-nots, and the people that's just in the middle keeping everything together. What is day trading? Day trading is getting in and out of a stock, cryptocurrency, ETF, forex inside that same day. It's just day trading. So let's say you see a stock ABC is at $10 a share. You see the setup. You think it's gonna go to, let's say, $11 a share, $12 a share. You buy a lot of shares, and then it goes up a dollar or two. You get out. You bank the win for that day. That's day trading. Another thing about day trading, if you want to be a day trader and you want to do more than 3 trades a week, you have to have an account that has over $25,000 in it. If you have less than $25,000 in it, and you don't have a margin account, it would only allow you to do 3 trades a week as far as being a day trader. Because the reason why you need that much money, because it takes time. When you do a trade, it takes 2 days or 3 days for that trade to settle. So you can't be in and out of trades more than 3 times a week if you have less than $25,000 in your account, or you don't have a margin account. That's another thing about day trading also. But again, like I said, good day traders, they're only trading, 3, 4 times a week anyway. And again, I know it looks sexy and cute and everything online, but understand this: 95% of day traders blow up their account. 95%. The people that you see that's continually making money day trading, they are the 1% of the 1% of the 1% of day traders. 95% blow up their account. Uh, okay. Yeah, it's just a, yeah. I'm not about to sit here and keep going back and forth about coins and stuff like that. It dumps, it goes up, it goes down. Make the money on the down, ride it up, exit, rinse and repeat. That's how I feel about cryptocurrency. Uh, Bitcoin is the only one. Bitcoin XRP, I just hold it and just keep buying on the down dips. But I'm not sitting here. I will never tell somebody to put anything over 5% of their net worth in the cryptocurrency. Mine is only at 2%, but I know some people are more aggressive with it. But so I say 5%. 5% of your net worth go in cryptocurrency. That's that's my view. Can I? No, you do not want to create a Japanese stock exchange account, translate it into English, and use it to invest and trade in their market. Why would you do that? You're in the best market right now. The U.S. is the best market. I mean, it's already stuff you know. Now, if you just want to go trade in the Japanese yen because you think or you got a knowledge base of something, and then you meet the criteria, go ahead. But first, master one market before you go try to master another one. That's my view on it. Uh, let's see what else I got out there. Did I miss anybody? Da, 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 da. All right. Any other questions about any other thing that's going on out there in the market? Financial. Ladybug, thanks for your question. Uh, Braunbacher, thanks for joining in, tuning in. Blue Flare, thanks for joining in, tuning in. Jay, thanks for tuning in. Thoughts on the real estate outlook? Oh, I love this one. Thanks. Somebody asked it. Real estate market, and it's funny. I've had conversations about real estate while I've been here. The real estate market right now, and this is going to be contrary to what you hear on TV. Right now is a buyer's market. I know crickets. Everybody looking like, what the hell are you talking about? Right now is a buyer's market. The reason why it's a buyer's market because there's not many buyers on the market. It's a lot of people that need to sell. They're desperate sellers. They're motivated sellers. So if you trying to buy a property, you can negotiate down to the bare bones to get said property. Now, if you wait, because this is the mindset everybody's talking about, oh, look, I'm gonna wait till the interest rate drop. Interest rate drops, the prices are gonna go higher. More buyers are gonna come in. Your negotiating skills or your negotiation with sellers will dissipate. Just think of COVID. Like the reason why people was paying 20, 30, $40,000 over asking price is because it was a lot of demand, the interest rates was low, and the prices was going higher. That's why. You have to look at the inverse. Right now, it was a report that came out and said 83% of the buyers are holding off for the market. For me, I said, great. That means I have less competition. That means there's way more sellers on the market than buyers. If the sellers are really motivated and they need to sell and get out of these situations, especially a lot of these work from home people that's in Florida, Texas, Arizona, and need to go back to their communities where they work at because their office demanded it, unless they want to pay two mortgages, one in California, one in Arizona, one in New York, and one in Florida, then they gotta unask the property at a low rate. That's that's why I love it. I mean, I'm actually still doing deals. I just did a triplex deal. And then another thing is there's other ways besides a bank, like right now, I think it's 6.25 right now, 6.25, 6.5. I'm not sure what the interest rate is right now in the United States. But the triplex deal, I did it at 4.5% because there's alternative methods than just using a bank. It's other creative financing methods. Actually, the last 2 years, the only deals I've done have been creative finance deals. I have not went to a bank yet because there's other ways. You can do subject to. If you find a veteran that needs to sell, you can assume their loan. Of course, you got to pay the difference, so your down payment to be the difference for what they want on the price, but that's negotiable. And then also, let's say they have $30,000 in equity and they want $30,000 in equity or 100,000. You don't have to. You can negotiate that also. But like, hey, can I get on a payment plan and pay you? And then of course they can't afford the mortgage anymore, so of course you're going to pay the mortgage, and then you can get on a payment plan for them for the equity or the down payment. Is many ways to skin a cat in this market. Don't think that, oh, I got to get my credit up and I got to go to the bank and hope and beg and wish that they give me the money that I need for the property. I haven't showed a credit score on none of these creative financing deals that I've done. Now I've showed a reference list of other people that I've done deals with, and they vouch for me like, yeah, I can get it done. But that's all I've shown. Paperwork is 90% less. That's really it. It's no, you don't have to. You have to. Don't. I want to stress this. The media is there for a reason, and most of the reason is not to benefit you. You literally almost have to do the 100% opposite of what the media is telling you right now. So what are your take on community land trust? I don't know what community land trusts are. Again, I only speak about what's my wheelhouse. I don't know, Jay, is there rules against you doing it? But I know Warren Buffett buys stock here, so if he do it, he ain't doing nothing special. I mean, if one man can do it, another person can do it. Now, is it paperwork you probably need to fill out? Maybe. I don't know about the difference in it. Uh, okay, I see what you did there. But no, yeah, but no, no, I'm just explaining. If I was an American, I wouldn't want to go to another market. Period. I mean, it's master the one you're in. I mean, going to just any market. I mean, like the peso is out there, but you have to understand the economy. Right now, people don't know that the Japanese economy is going down. And then now you got to add on this 25% tariffs they got that they export to the United States, and and the GDP is decelerating at a fast rate here. So if you don't want to understand the whole economy of a country, then no, I wouldn't invest. It can't just be, hey, yeah, I'm gonna buy this stock in Yokohama. I'm just using a company here in Japan, but you don't know the dynamics. You don't know how it's all operating. What's moving in, what's moving out. How is the tariff impacting Japan? What is the GDP doing? What is the yen dollar correlation? Because that correlation right there, the carry trade is real. So you got to understand those different aspects. But that's what I'm saying. If you're not a, and I'm not talking about you, Jay, in general. I'm talking about anybody. You're already in a market that's very vibrant. If you don't understand that market holistically, I would not be moving to another market because you got to understand all the nuances of it, just like you have to do in the United States. So I'm not picking on you per se. Uh, can you open a Robinhood and invest? I don't know. I don't know if Robinhood even have Japanese markets or anything like that. I doubt it, but I'm not. I don't know. But yeah, is there any other questions out there? We 32 minutes in. You can ask me questions about Japan. No, I haven't taken a train yet. I get confused all that Japanese writing. I'd be somewhere on the ocean somewhere and don't know how to get back. So nope. I've been true tourist, get in a cab and I use my broken Japanese or I use pictures, pointing, clicking. That's how I've been getting around. Should have used Uber, but I'm using a cab. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of walking. If you want to know proximity or close to where I'm at, look up Shibuya Crossing. I'm close to that proximity. Uh, I was wondering because technically it's great. Yeah, and the thing is, it is a lot of stuff that's coming out. Good question, Jay. He said, I was wondering because technically when I was there, there's a lot of stuff that's there that comes out before the United States. And that's true. But the thing is, the profit margin here, I don't believe it's as high as the United States. That's one of the things. Like, I'm just using this as an example. I'm just using this as an example. So this joint here is two pancakes with syrup and butter inside. This thing costs $1 US. If this thing right was in 7-Eleven in the United States right now, it'd be $4.99, $5.99. So that right there let you know, yeah, they can create, but are they driving the margin to create the demand here? That's one of the things that's been out there. I can tell you places I've been. I've been to the fish market. I think it's like Tijuca Fish Market. I've been to the Shosen temples. I've been to man, I've been to places, but like far as major cities, I haven't went out to uh, Osaka or anything like that. I'm staying pretty close, just walking around trying to understand the nuance of the major hub here. So I haven't really went far out there. I think the furthest I didn't drove maybe was about 45 minutes away. So uh, what what else? What else? But yeah, so that's what it is when it comes to investing in all these other countries. Yeah, they can come out here, but in the United States, is driving the profit margin. Like I was saying, restaurants here, they might have a margin, but they're not getting the margin like the states. Like I said, we was at lunch and I got three ramen bowls and I'm drinking beer, and it cost me $8 US. In the United States, that's about $80 when you add in tips. So it's about, let's say, 65, and then you add in a tip that's 80. It's a big dynamic shift. I mean, of course, noodles and rice and stuff here is way cheaper than in the states, but you got to see where the margins are. I probably went past there. I don't know what's in there. You got to tell me what sites are there for me to see, Jordan. But I probably been there. I just don't know. I can't read all that Japanese stuff, man. I'm just being honest with you. All right. Any other questions out there? And yeah, I'm still drinking bottled water. You could drink the tap water, but I don't even drink tap water in the States. So yeah, I'm still drinking bottled water. Yeah. Yes, I tried the Japanese whiskey. I was drinking some. That was the first night I was here. Uh, it- time was in a loop, so I went over there to the. It started with a D. I went to that district. They had a bar there. They was playing some Irish rock music, and I was like, "Give me your best stuff." And so I had some. It was good. I mean, it reminds me more of Canadian whiskey than it does bourbon in the States. Just the texture of it is not bad. I'm just saying it's closer to that than it is to bourbon or Tennessee whiskey to me. Oh, the anime game district. You know what? I think I think me and my son going to the anime museum today or tomorrow. Well, it's today my time, so tomorrow your time. So yeah, I think that's on the list to do. So I might be in that area, but I haven't found anything else. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going? But yeah, so any other questions out there? I'm here for it. I actually took a long nap, so don't worry about me and the time difference. I'm probably gonna leave out of here and grab me some more snacks. Hit the Lawson's up because I'm still a fatty. I got to get all these calories back because the sushi is good, but I don't be getting enough rolls in or guess. But it be hot outside, I tell you. So I got to get my calories back. I want to stay a fat guy. Mess around here, I'll be 120 pounds in a couple weeks. All right, if it ain't no more questions, I'm gonna wrap this up. Get back to hanging out and trying to find more deals. Y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all in the next one.